Hello, welcome to another episode of Cubs on Tap. I'm Joey Ricotta, joined by Tyler Edmonds at Teddy Freddy 270. You can find me at Joey Knows Nothing. You can follow the show at Cubbies on Tap on X, Cubbies. We are part of the On Tap Sports Network. Here to break down a big Cubs victory, a one-run victory, 4-3 over the Atlanta Braves. Before we talk about it, Tyler, how you doing, man? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute, but dude, I'm good. Eh, Not to brag, but to brag a little bit, maybe to rub it in people's faces. I'm good, man. I'm in Panama City Beach right now. Just enjoying some vacation with the wife. Um, we were talking pre-show. You're like, man, we need to do a quick show because I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm like, yeah, me too, man. I gotta get up and get ready to drink beer and sit on the beach. But I'm good, man, and I'm even
Hard work.
better after a big win tonight.
Yeah, that'll do that to you, especially when you're on vacation. You're living it up. It's a lot of hard work lifting those 12-ounce
Dude,
cans or
my
whatever.
arms are so sore. I'm telling you, but I'm gonna tough through, man. I'm gonna Cal Ripken it and just keep on pushing through tomorrow.
That's right. You're on a game streak here. You can't go down now. That Cal Ripken streak might never be defeated if you stop. So
Exactly. So yeah,
um, that's by the way. I don't want to get off topic, but that's probably the one streak that we might never see broken in baseball, or
probably
one
not.
one of those streaks that'll never get broken. Um, but yeah, anyways, Tyler, got a couple people here already joining us in the comments. Christopher Cole, evening peeps. Good evening to you. Scott says Cubbies on tap after dark. Yeah, man. Well, that's what we have to do when Tyler's on vacation and doesn't really have like a time limit. Even though we want to keep
Yeah.
this short tonight, and I've had Bochy tonight, and it's we're revved up. We're revved up after a couple of victories here against the Braves. And Tyler, you can't sweep a series unless you win game one, and you can't sweep a series unless you win games one and two. And that's just
Yeah.
the fact about it. That's the obvious fact about it. So, with that said, if you want to help us out and help our friends over at Obvious Shirts, go to Obvious Shirts to get your merch, clothing. Obvious Shirts. It's we all probably have at least one of them. And if you go there and use the promo code ONTAP Sports, you can get 10% off of your t-shirt and your merch. So do that. Go check out what
Yeah.
they have next, but that's in stock right now, and whatever new
It's like
stuff that they're coming out with.
if you want a discount on something you're about to buy, it's pretty obvious, Joe. Use the code. Obviously,
It's a
on tap
no-brainer.
sports. It's a no-brainer. It's the obvious thing to do.
That's right. So definitely good people over there. And yeah, I was wearing a shirt yesterday. The W stands for win. That is a very obvious one. Um, Scott says Salty Goat Saloon is a must hit in Panama City, Tyler.
I'm gonna have to try. We lately we've been going to like the places we normally go to, but like tonight went somewhere different, and yeah, tomorrow we may have to check it out because yeah, been looking for new places to try out down here.
Heck yeah.
Might have to do it.
Heck yeah. I've never been to Panama City, but like you were saying, Labor Day or just after Labor Day seems
Oh,
like a
dude,
good time
it's
to
it's
check
the
it out.
best
So
time. Yeah, nobody's here.
I might have to schedule a trip myself for next year and talk to my wife and see what we're
Yeah,
doing. Um but yeah, Scott sounds like he's got some experience down there as well. And we appreciate everybody jumping in tonight. Like you said, Cubby's on tap after dark. It's a little bit later here, but fun one to talk about tonight, Tyler. I admittedly didn't catch the game until I started watching about fourth inning or so. I think was when I kind of
mm,
started watching, and then I was a little bit distracted and didn't really start watching until about the sixth, maybe. Um, Between drive home, definitely caught like the last three innings in total. But um, guess where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the Shota performance tonight or the
yeah, sure.
the
Yeah, I'll
Kyle
be
Tucker?
honest. Like Shota wasn't. I mean, he had a quality start. It wasn't like a lights out top tier performance. Yeah, he got lit up in the fourth and the fifth, but hey, his final inning, he bounced back and got out of a quick. I mean, had a runner on first base with one out, and hey, rolls up a double play, and next thing you know, it's another quality start from Shota, which is something that he's been doing pretty much ever since he came back from the IL a few months ago.
Yeah, another quality start. They showed right after the game. Saw this as a stat that Marquee had up on a graphic, and let's see here. Where was it at? I believe it's 8 consecutive quality starts. Let me see where my notes are at.
I mean, that's not surprising. It's really not.
Yeah. No, sorry,
Death,
6
taxes,
consecutive.
Death, Taxes, and Shota Imanaga having a quality outing, quality
Yeah.
start.
And that's right now, that's third best in the majors right now for consecutive quality starts. But yeah, it really, like, watching back on it, and from what I saw too, or what I was able to see, the 2 misses he had were middle of zone fastballs, and they just got taken advantage of by Eli White and Ozzie Albies, who, like you were saying,
you had the wild pitch, which
yeah,
that's
Matt
avoidable
Olson
too.
scored, yeah. Which I think Olson obviously would have scored on the homer, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, what the heck, Matt Olson? I didn't realize, how the heck did he get a triple? Like, that's a big boy getting a triple right there.
Oh yeah, he's very slow, very slow.
Like, that's a big boy. You got to hit it in the craziest part of the field, in the corner, just to be able to make that happen. But yeah, Shota, I mean, all things considered, even though he gave up a couple homers, only the 3 runs there, I still thought it was a pretty good outing. Obviously, quality start. I mean, 5 hits and 1 walk. Your whip is co-whip was exactly 1. So I mean, that's good. Like, that's what you want to see out of your pitchers. Like, that's not a bad whip at all. Walks, hits per inning, like, that's solid for any outing, and you'll take it, because Kyle Tucker did more than enough basically by himself to push the Cubs over the finish line with the big Oppo Taco homer off the lefty, the 3-run shot. And that's pretty much all the offense they needed, because the bullpen came in there and was nails. Thielbar and Pomeranz, not enough can be said about those two from the left side. I mean, I think it was Caleb Thielbar's 19th hold of the year, and his ERA is again under 2 at this point, and Pomeranz is just barely over 2. Like, those 2 guys just bridging the gap to Palencia after 6 innings. I really think that this team, I don't know where this team would be without the emergence of some of these guys. Like,
for sure.
The unknowns coming into the year. Like, I was really low. Like, I'll be one of the first to say
too.
On Thielbar, dude, I thought Thielbar was a terrible pickup. I really did.
I even said before the season started that we would scream louder about this team's bullpen more than we did last year. And I was saying that this bullpen was going to be the reason why this team, doesn't make the playoffs and all this kind of stuff. And it's been the exact opposite. This bullpen, this starting staff, which on paper, let's be honest, on paper, it's not the most intimidating starting staff if you look at all the teams that are potentially in the playoffs. But they've proven it. You just said it a while ago. They had how many consecutive quality starts?
Shota alone, yeah.
Yeah, Shota. But other guys too in that rotation that
Horton's had a lot of qualities, or a lot of, I don't know if quality, because he's not going deep enough, but what you would consider really quality starts.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's just something that, I'll be honest, I did not expect, especially when you have Justin Steele go down at the beginning of the year. You're just like, oh hell, the offense is going to have to carry this team. And yeah, the offense was nice in the first half and all that, but yeah, it's the pitching staff that has, if you really want to break it down, it's the pitching staff that has really kept this team afloat.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Definitely in the second half.
Definitely in the second half.
The second half would not be, even the rough stretch that they went through, and we tend to we ride the ride. We tend to
Yeah.
overreact after a lot of losses
Oh,
that
we all do.
feel
We
like,
all do. And
hey, that's
yeah,
a sweep. It should be a sweep. Like the Rocky series, right? If you flip, I told Nick this the other night. If you were to flip the two and say, going into the series, everyone's saying you need to sweep the Rockies, take 2 of 3 from the Braves, sweep the Nets. Well, if you flip the two, take two or three from the Rockies, and then sweep the Braves, does it really matter? Like, I think, but in order to do this, like how they've been able to still, as bad as it's been through the rough patches, still take 2 of 3 at a lot of these series, or
yeah,
still win series. And like you said, it's a big reason why is the pitching, because the offense during the low points, that's been the biggest struggle, has been the offense. So like, not enough can be said about, especially the bullpen, and the rotation. Like you said, there's no way. You tell me Steele's going down beginning of the year. I know we've talked about this a few times, but
you
Steele
have
going
Steele go
down.
down, and you have Iman. I want to say Schroeder went down after the first. Was it the first month or just the first few weeks? He was out for like a little
He
over a
was
month.
out, yeah, for
Yeah.
over a month, yeah.
If you would have told us that you were going to lose your best 2
And
pitchers at the end
Tyon's
of the
been out
season,
too a lot.
Tyone's been out. And we didn't know how good Matthew Boyd was going to be at the beginning of the year. So if you would have said that you were going to lose your best 2 pitchers and still have one of the lowest ERAs as far as a starting rotation in the league,
Mm-hmm.
pretty impressive. Even though, like I said, on paper, you look at this rotation on paper, and it's just like, okay, and compared to all the other potential playoff rotations,
Yeah.
it's
I honestly think though too, going into the season, like Tyon was firmly your 3, like, because we didn't know, like you said, we didn't know what Boyd was going to be. We had no idea that Cade Horton was going to come up and be as effective as he's been, and then it was a question of who's the 5 starter. Like, that was a big thing, and so basically, you kind of eliminated all 3 of your top 3 pitchers for a large period of the season and one permanently for the season. But yeah, not enough can be said about them stepping up. I think you're muted, Tyler. Sorry. That'd be the mic. Hey, Christopher Cole says he's in the middle of Florida, by the way, right now. So yeah, I hear some tapping. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're there.
Okay.
Christopher Cole says he's in the middle of Florida right now too. If you need some mic help.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe.
But hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would feel a whole lot better if this team had one more legit starter.
Mm-hmm.
But what they've done with what they have has been impressive. Now I won't say that to Jed Hoyer's face, because like we've all been saying since the trade deadline, they should have added more. And I get it, they've added more here this past week, picking up players and everything like that. But don't get me wrong, I would feel a little bit more confident if we did have that one more legit arm. But with what they've had, it's been pretty impressive. And
yeah,
and just to even just turn it back into the Knights game, it was nice to see Daniel Palencia finally have a pretty solid outing, especially after 2 of his last 3 outings. What was it, against the Rockies and the Giants wasn't so hot, so it was nice to see. It was nice to see him go out there and get a save.
No doubt. Yeah, that was, he got himself into a little bit of trouble. One was, we talked about, it wasn't like a hard hit ball. I mean, I guess technically StatCast said it was, but the chopper up the middle that turned out to be an infield hit, tough play by Nico to make, or tough play for him to make. And you got first and third with 2 outs, and then Palencia ends up getting out of it with the fly out. But that's a huge confidence booster, I think, for him with the way that he's been pitching lately. A little bit rocky. So yeah, that was good to see him be able to get out of that and capture the energy too with the crowd, because the crowd was really into it tonight, as they have been for both of these games back at Wrigley against the Braves. The other thing too that I think we should mention, and Scott does throw it out here in the comments, Matt the Corner Reaper Shaw has the best glove at third base in MLB, Scott says.
He tweeted that tonight, and I was like, yeah, That's exactly the corner reaper, dude. I love watching that kid play third base.
It's awesome
For
right now. It's
for a
awesome.
guy coming into the season, everybody's had their doubts about Matthew Shaw. Oh, we just lost Cam Smith, boo hoo, blah blah blah. Even though we got Kyle Tucker in the trade, oh, we lost Cam Smith, and Matt Shaw's not gonna be able to play third base, and wham. And he has shut up the on. I get it. His first half offensively wasn't great, but his second half has been the exact opposite. He's been one of the best hitters in this lineup in the second half. But the entire year has been a freaking vacuum over there. I love watching him play. He plays hard. He goes balls out every play. I mean,
Mhm.
you see it every freaking night, and he makes just some of the most unbelievable plays. Like there was a bunt play he made earlier in the second half that I honestly think is the best defensive play from this team this year.
The
I
bare
cannot.
hand fadeaway play.
It was like a week or so ago, and I know some of you. I know you got. I know when. I cannot remember who they were playing, but like, and tonight he had another good play. But it's automatic. It's automatic with that kid. And what was awesome, what I enjoyed. Granted, the Giants series sucked when they got swept, but watching Matt Chapman, I was watching Matt Chapman just being like, you know what, that's pretty cool that like you got Matt Chapman playing for the Giants, and he's playing against another Matt Shaw, who
Mm-hmm.
has a similar defensive game to him. Say you can call me crazy and stupid for that take, but
I
man,
don't think so. The way he's playing, that
yeah, but yeah, love it, freaking love it.
yeah, and the Cubs defense really has been stepping up here too. Like I know there was a miscue in the outfield the other day, but
Yeah,
Dansby Swanson at shortstop too, another great sliding play up the middle,
mm-hmm.
turning. I mean, and then last night the over the shoulder catch, like dropping in the bucket type over his head. Like they're making some plays defensively that's really helping out the pitching, and Shota even acknowledged it in his post game presser after this game too, with guys flying all over the place and making plays. And you love to see it. I mean, that's what really good teams and winning teams and teams that can win close games, that's what they do. They pitch well and they play clutch, good, really great defense when they need to be able to
Yeah,
help their pitching staff out. You know, this
for
might
sure.
not be the best pitching staff on paper, to your point, Tyler, and I don't think it is, but when the defense can step up like that and help them out, it makes your pitching just that much better. And
For sure.
that seems to be what's happening right now with the Cubs too, and it's awesome to see. Um, Something we kind of talked about off air as well was um, matchups for the playoffs. I don't want to get like too far ahead with
Mm-hmm.
this whole thing, but you know, obviously, right now, if the Cubs were to make the playoffs, they would be hosting 2 of 3 against the Padres. If everything stays the same, which there's a lot of time for things to shake up, they got a pretty decent lead in the wild card, but it's not completely safe. And they're still not out of the division right now. With being 5 games back, they picked up a little bit from the Brewers, and that's still within reach as we have basically a month left of baseball to play. But if you were to say things stay the same right now, and you got 2 home games against the Padres. And just looking at that matchup, and you know, not to like look at their entire lineup or anything, but they have some really good right-handed bats, obviously in that lineup with Tatis, you know, Machado. They've got some guys there that are dangerous. How would you line this thing up if you're Craig Counsell? Like, what's the pitching
Well,
stat? What's the
it's
order for the pitching?
it's funny. It's funny you say that. You asked me that as I'm sitting here right now watching the Orioles and Padres, and you've got Tatis batting right now with a 3-2 count,
Hmm.
runners on first and second, and with a chance to tie the game.
Oof.
Oh, he just walked. I was going to say that would be pretty funny if he just gave up or if he just hit a three-run homer. But first off, hosting this is why I feel like it's so important for this team to get that top spot so that they can host a wild card series. because if you're playing the part one, you could argue that the Padres are going to be one of the scariest teams in the playoffs, period. You can say what you want. We can sit here and say what we want about their record. Yeah, they have I want to say they have a losing record against teams above 500, but so does Chicago. But they're they're obviously going to be a tough playoff matchup. They're very right-handed. I would not hate the idea of Cade Horton starting game one, depending on how that last week of the series, or how the last week of the season ends up. In my opinion, you cannot take a break. We've got 7 series left after tomorrow. You play the Braves for one more, and you've got 7 series left. That's crazy to think about. 7 series. And which, real quick, you've got the Nationals at home. You play the Braves on the road. You've got Tampa. At home. You play the Pirates and Cincinnati on the road, and then you finish up with the Mets and the Cardinals at home. You don't play. You could say the Reds are one game above 500. Other than the Reds, you don't play a team above 500 until you play the Mets. Tampa's sitting right at 500. Like I said, Cincinnati's one game over 500.
And you know they're going to be tough, though.
And they're going to be tough. I hate playing Cincinnati, especially at Cincinnati. It. With that being said, you can't. I get it. It's important to rest players and everything like that, but you cannot slouch these last few weeks. I mean, I know you've got a whole month, because it's just that important that you get that top spot to host a wild card at home. And again, don't get me wrong. Even if it is the Padres are going to be tough. But I would rather play the Padres. I'd rather play. To be honest, call me crazy. I would rather play the Dodgers in the playoffs than the Padres. And I know the Dodgers just won the World Series. I know that's crazy to say. That's just because you got the Padres bullpen that is just nasty, and they just got this magic that they just shows up in the playoffs. It feels like. With that being said, back to your original question. I would not hate a Cade Horton game one start. I wouldn't. If he doesn't start game one, because again, San Diego is very right-handed, he has to start game two, because I don't think you start back-to-back lefties with Shota and Matthew Boyd. I really don't. And you've got a guy who's arguably been your best pitcher in the second half, probably going to win the Rookie of the Year. I get it. He's probably on his little pitch count, blah, blah, blah. But what better way to, grow a nutsack, get that FU about you than, hey, give him the ball in game one.
It's time to grow up.
Yeah,
it's time to grow up.
Hey, Kate, you go as long as you want. You go as long as your arm can take. Obviously be smart, but you know what? Push him just a little bit. Why not? But I wouldn't hate a Cade Horton game one start. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. And I think obviously he's been the best pitcher on the Cubs in the second half, because he's got the best ERA in the majors since the All-Star break. 8 starts, 0.86 ERA. He's been absolutely filthy. And
here's the thing,
even Coors couldn't kill him.
Lately, and here's the thing too. Lately I've been pissing a couple people off about veterans and experience and blah blah blah, but I'm not going to get in that conversation. But you could say what you want about Cade Horton being young and inexperienced and blah blah blah, but Matthew Boyd, yeah, he had one little appearance last year with the Guardians in a relief outing. Shota's never pitched in the playoffs. He pitched in Tokyo. Other than that, who else you got on this rotation anyways that has playoff experience? Does Jameson Taillon, does he have an appearance? Maybe.
He's not even healthy right now, so
I'm sure Colin Ray was on the roster with the Brewers last year, but it's like, okay, cool. Give it to the young kid then. Give it to the kid that wants to prove himself and say, hey, look, I belong here.
The one thing I'll say, Tyler, that this is why it becomes, I thought it was going to be more of a, okay, well, maybe because of this reason would be the home road splits. But all of these guys, I'm looking at all of them with their numbers between Shota, Boyd, and Horton. All 3 of them have considerably, or at least better, splits at home than
Yep.
they've been on the road. And Horton's numbers, they're pretty considerable. Like I'm looking right now, 9 games started for each. He's got a 1.71 ERA at home and a 4.03 ERA on the road. But you look at the
If I
other two guys,
if I'm
and
picking if I'm
they're
picking
pretty bad too on the road, or not bad, but it's
if
worse
I'm
on the road.
picking though, you give Cade Horton the home start. You give Cade Horton the home start, and then I don't know how bad Shota's numbers are on the road, but
Not
Matthew Boyd.
terrible.
Matthew Boyd is 10-0 at home.
Yeah.
10-0.
So do you feel good about him beating
And
that game 3, right?
but at the same time, and
That's
it's like we
exactly
talk.
what Scott has here too, if that's what you're
But
saying.
but at the same time, Matthew Boyd is in the second half. Let's look real quick. I had it pulled up right here. Oh, in this, he's 10-0 at home, but in the second half, he's 2-4, which I get it. Your record's not everything in the world, but first half, just a little over 110 innings pitched, 29 earned runs. Second half, almost 48 innings pitched, so about a little under half, 23 earned runs. He's been hitting around a lot. And it's like what we talked about pre-show, and it's not just with him, but with other guys. I feel like it's that fatigue. It's just the grind of the 162.
Yeah, it really could
it's
be.
the you got to think, and you got to think too. Some of the guys like PCA, Matthew Boyd, played in the All-Star game. They didn't really get a break, and it's showing right now. But with that being said, I feel like I'd almost go game 1 Horton, and then maybe flip flop Shota and Boyd, if that means, because is it 2 at home, and then if they host, is it 2 at Wrigley and then 1 in San Diego? Is that
right? So I think it would be 1-1-1, right?
1-1-1. Oh, okay, gotcha. Then if it's 1-1-1, yeah, I would go Horton Shota. Yeah,
Because you have to
Horton,
guarantee
Shota,
that
Boyd,
each team
for sure.
has a home game. So I'm pretty
Okay.
sure if it's a 3-game set, I'm pretty sure it'd be 1 and
Gotcha.
1 and 1 and 1.
Gotcha. Then I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate Horton Shota, Boyd. I feel like, but yeah, and to agree again with Scott right here, it's a dog fight for sure.
Because I think at this point, and there's time for Boyd to like get it back together, which he hasn't completely lost it. I'm not saying that. I don't think either one of us are
it's all
saying
3
that.
in Chicago.
But what do you mean all 3 in Chicago?
As far as if it's a
no travel. Oh, okay. I didn't
then, yeah.
realize that then.
I couldn't remember if it was I couldn't remember if they played one on the road or not, but
I did not realize that's really odd to me though. I guess maybe I just assumed that it would be.
But I agree with this comment as far as like if it's a dogfight at the end, which is why it's so important. Just to bring up the schedule again real quick, which is why it's so important for these next several series. And I get it; it's easier said than done. To win the games you're supposed to win the series you're supposed to win. You could say what you talked earlier about the Rocky series being a letdown at the end because you lose that last. Yeah, you win the series, but you should have won that game. You
Scott's right though. It's all 3 in the higher seed hosts.
Yeah.
I just went back and looked it up. Wow.
But it's the same way with this with the game tomorrow. If you have the opportunity to sweep, you do it. You've got the Nationals for 3. That should be I get it. I know it's baseball. It should be a gimme. You go back to Atlanta to play a Braves team that has just been horrendous this year, minus Ozzie Albies, because it feels like every time he plays us, he turns into freaking Barry Bonds.
Killer.
You've got a 500 team in Tampa that they're trying to push for a wild card, but then you've got Pittsburgh. I hate playing Cincinnati at Cincinnati, but you've got to win that series, and hopefully that final week. Yeah, you don't want to pull back. But hopefully that final week is just we've got the top spot easy, and that kind of thing. Now, is that going to is knowing our luck? That's probably not. We know how this series goes. We know how this song and dance goes. We've seen this movie in the last 2 years, so I get it.
It ain't over yet.
It's not gonna. We're not gonna make it easy on ourselves, and we don't need to look that far ahead. But it just goes back to the importance of winning the games. Winning the games you're supposed to win, taking advantage of the opportunities. Yesterday, I know y'all talked about it last night, not to dance around and go on and on about stuff, but like last night, yeah, they won, and that was awesome. But was that a well-played game overall? Hell no. There was minimal mistakes.
The first half was not at all.
There was minimal, and that stuff that stuff cannot happen this month. If they can erase that, guys can wake up, cough, cough. I'm talking to PCA.
The
And
bat
hey,
needs to get going.
maybe hopefully at the end of the month we don't have to worry about trying to throw in a guy like Javier Assad to start game one in the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that, or Colin Ray or whoever, or
Yeah.
Jameson Tyon, who hasn't thrown a pitch in 2 weeks, and whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they put everything together from the rest of the pitching rotation and the active roster for the playoffs too. But like you said, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and just automatically assume things, because while they are still not out of it with the division, they're still not locked up for that wild card either, even though they have a good lead. Like there could be let's knock on wood here, but a colossal meltdown, and
there could be, and not to bring up bad memories, but you and I both know it has happened before.
Yep. So don't count your chickens before they hatch, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, no, we'll wait and see like how everything shakes out. But I like Hank's comment here. This was something that I wanted to bring up because it's something that me and Tyler talked about last night. I did say that I expect to see Alcantara in there because he's been raking against lefties in the minors. That's considerably better, like 1,000 OPS compared to like 760 in the minors versus righties against lefties. He's really crushed them, and he got a hit tonight, and he was able to score the run on the homer. Hank says happy for the Jaguar getting a hit. Hopefully he isn't benched the next few games like Owen was. Tyler, just quickly, I want to get your thoughts on, we don't have to go down the whole roster stuff, but like thoughts on Casey getting the call up and what you saw tonight, and if you like it or if you don't like it, just Alcantara in general being here.
It sucks that Casey had to go down just because I felt like he was that spark plug that the team was looking for. I get it. You got some of your hitters like Happ, who's we can say what we want about Shaw, who's been one of your hottest hitters. Right there in this last month, Ian Happ's been there too. I know it's not the flashiest,
He's been raking though.
Crazy, but he's been hitting the ball pretty good. You've got a Kyle Tucker who hopefully has found his way back. I get it, his calf. Hopefully that's nothing serious. Seiya, he's getting a few hits here and there. He's got to bounce back, especially on the power numbers. But it sucked to see Casey go down. I know we can sit here and say what we want about guys like Justin Turner and Santana being on this roster and not him. I get it. But it's like you said, this team's very left-handed right now. And if I had to swap Casey with somebody, Alcantara is not a bad swap. He's not. And so hopefully, and it's probably going to be a similar situation. Yeah, he's going to start tomorrow, but if Tucker is fine by Saturday or Sunday, it's probably going to be a similar thing where, yeah, you're coming off the bench. You may not play for 3 or 4 games, but we need you to be ready in this moment or that moment or whatever. And so if there's a guy that I'd have to swap Casey for, it would be Alcantara. And so hopefully he can maximize his opportunities that he's going to get.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because the one at bat when he lost his bat.
And Scott, your comment that as far as your I agree, Scott. Like he says that in the bottom. I hope both. It would be awesome if both of them are on the playoff roster.
Yeah, and that's why this move was so crucial. The timing of it, though. Be
careful who you bring that up to around, because apparently it pisses some people off that it's all whatever. But yeah, I wouldn't hate it, and it's just going to be interesting to see. The thing is, as much as I'd want them both on the, I agree. I would love both of them on the bench for the playoffs. I feel like at the very most, you're only going to get one, just because depending on if Craig decides to go with a 4 or 5-man roster in the playoffs, which we can talk about that close to the end of the year. It would be tough to try to pencil in both of them, especially if one of them spots is going to go to Turner or Santana. Castro is going to be on there. You're probably going to roll with 2 catchers, depending on Amaya, if Amaya is good by then. And then that leaves maybe one spot. It just depends on, I guess a lot of it also depends too on how well or not well Santana hits.
That's going to be a big part of it, I think. Him and
it is.
Turner. I think they're fighting for a spot right now for the playoffs.
I think they are too. I don't think there's no way, in my opinion, there's just no way. I'm fine with keeping one of those guys. I'm fine. I say I'm fine just because you and I both know that one of them is going to be on the roster, and it's probably going to be Turner if Santana doesn't do much in these next few weeks. Whether we agree,
they need a backup first baseman, no matter how we slice it too.
Whether I like it or agree with it or anything like that is a whole. We could do a whole episode on that. I get it, and I'm sure a lot of other people would too. But after that, it would be tough to have both of them on the playoff roster. But I wouldn't hate it if they both were. Really would.
The tough part right now is the reason why Savale and Santana and then Alcantara. Of course, you had the flip of him and Casey, but the reason why Santana and Savale were able to be added to the active roster is because of the September call-ups, and you're not going to have that in the playoffs.
For sure.
So in the playoffs, you're back down to 26 players, and that's going to be a challenge for them to figure out. I think a lot of it's going to work itself out, though. Like, if I'm being the hard part decision will be, all right, do we call up Casey for a nice left-handed bench bat, right, for the postseason, or spell bat here and there? Because, like you said, this is again what we talked about last night, me and Nick. But the fit there for needing a right-handed bat, is a lot more of a need, and so.
And you're not.
I would love Casey. To see both of them on the roster.
You're not going to start. As I say, you're not going to start Casey over anybody in the outfield or at DH in the playoffs. So
you can't.
I agree. Yeah.
And even Alcantara, if PCA gets back to hitting, he's not hitting lefties. He's not hitting anybody right now. That's the problem. And
I know I'm telling you, he's a classic case of just that the grind of the 162 fatigue right now. He is.
Yeah.
It sucks to see. And hopefully he can turn it around. And maybe just the September / October feel, that playoff push. Maybe that's something that just, because he's similar to Javi Baez in the fact that he shows up for the moment. He can show up for the moment. You know what I mean? And I get it. He hasn't done it here lately.
He's a ball of energy though when he gets going.
You know what I'm saying though? Maybe just the lights of September. The playoffs being around the corner. Maybe that just lights him up. Who knows? I hope so. Because he's got to be on. Has to, if this team wants to do anything. I hope
so too. The thing that you pointed out though that I do think we should highlight here is it is so important that Kyle Tucker's okay with that calf.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I know they downplayed it. It was a precautionary measure, is what they said. They were being cautious with it because Tucker, I guess he felt a little bit of soreness coming into
the fact that he went out there and at least played that half.
Yeah, and it was a good half.
Yeah.
Or you mean the early part of the game with the homer and stuff? And
I'm saying the fact that he actually came back out and played when I want to say at least when it became sore or whatever, he still played another half of the inning, and at least.
Well, apparently Tucker's been saying, I guess it's been something he's been dealing with the last day or two.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But
which I know post-show he had said something like that. He's getting a day off tomorrow. You've got the day off on Thursday. And then and again, I don't want to look too far ahead and overlook anybody because I get it. They're all professional baseball teams, but you got the Nationals this weekend, who are 55-83 with a -175 run differential.
Yeah, you can afford to rest them if you need to.
Who are 27-41 on the road.
Is that good, Tyler?
I'm not saying it. Again, I don't want to speak too far ahead, but if there's just a slight moment where you can give Kyle Tucker a day off because his calf's hurting, I think a series against Washington would be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
But let's hope it's something where I don't want it to be the whole series. Let's hope it's, maybe one game at the most.
Yeah, if he needs 2 or 3 days here, like you said, it plays into the Cubs' benefit that they do have the off day, barring hopefully the game doesn't get rained out on Wednesday and then they play a Thursday. But even if that's the case, then, you still end up missing the same number of games if you're Kyle Tucker sitting the bench. But yeah, I'm hoping that that's just because it's something that they're just going to see how it feels. And Council did say, yeah, they'd give him the day off tomorrow and see where it goes from there. Sounds like Tucker hopes to be back in the lineup soon, thinks that he can be back in the lineup soon. So until we get more of a word on that, then we'll get concerned if we need to. But as of right now, I'm hoping that that's not the case because he's just now starting to find it again, man. And this has been, this is something that, it's taken a while for him to get back and get out of those habits or whatever it was. And yeah, it's starting to look good. So this would be terrible timing for him to miss any time. Any significant amount of time anyways. But Tyler, with that said, any final thoughts on tonight's game? And then before we look ahead to tomorrow.
Final thoughts, just hey, you win another close one, which I get it. It's the Braves, and they haven't had the best season this year, but they're still, you look at their lineup, they're a good team on paper. And so you win another close game, which is nice to see coming into September, and just build on that. I get it. You've already won the series, but if you get that opportunity tomorrow to take it, take the sweep. You're 80 and 59. 80 and 59. You're 5 games back from the Brewers. I'm not saying that, oh yeah, we've got a shot at winning the division. I'm not saying that at all. But let's make it a little close. Let's get up on their ass talking about Milwaukee for a second. Let's get up on their ass a little bit. Get them a little nervous, get them a little worried, let them know that, hey, you guys may be up in the division, but we beat your ass the last time we played you, and we're coming for you again, whether it's in this series or whether it's in the division or whether it's in the playoffs. Let's just get them thinking about us just a little bit.
Yeah, put the pressure.
What do you say? Put the pressure on us a little bit,
I agree. They definitely need to feel it a little bit, and I think they might be starting to feel it a little bit. I know, I gotta say, it's the weirdest thing to see a team with an off day on a Tuesday.
It is weird, especially in the middle of a series, because they're playing the Phillies right now. They played the Phillies on Labor Day. They had an off day today. They had 2 more against the Phillies, and not to say that we're schedule watching or that we're division watching or anything like that. But I'll just say this. Their schedule is a little similar to ours as far as difficulty. Yeah, they got the Pirates again at Pittsburgh, but then they go to Texas, who Texas is heating up right now. Even though they don't have Marcus Semien or Corey Seager right now, you've got Texas. They'll play St. Louis 2 more times actually. And you mean to tell me St. Louis doesn't want to kick their ass? They do. And then they've got the Padres. They've got a Padres at San Diego. So they've got a couple series, a couple quote unquote gimme series, but you never know about those. But then they've got a couple series too that hey, if they lose one or 2 or 3 here and there, you never know. So hey, all I'm saying is let's just make it interesting, if anything.
Yeah. Give us something to cheer for the last week of the season. Not that we're not going to have plenty to cheer for anyways, but
yeah, for sure.
Give us something to really strive for. I think in the final week, that'll be fun. But yeah, they got the Phillies for 2 more games, and those are obviously going to be tough. And the Cubs with a major opportunity tomorrow to sweep the Braves with Cade Horton on the mound against Bryce Elder. And we talked about how good Cade Horton has been this second half of the season or since the All-Star break. This is a big opportunity for the Cubs to just take care of business and then go into the Nats series and do the same thing there. So, but yeah, Tyler, with that said, what are your keys to victory tomorrow? Looking at the finale.
Cade Horton. Cade Horton has to keep doing what he's been doing the whole second half. And hey, Bryce Elder, I want to say he's rocking a damn near 5 ERA. Is that right? 4 or 5 ERA.
Something like that. He's had his moments this year. I want to say he had a
He
game where
has,
he
yeah,
struck out like 12 or something, but
something crazy like that. But hey, Cade Horton's got to be Cade Horton, continue to do his thing, and hopefully this one's not close.
wow,
You know,
he's
let's
shoved the last 2 times. Sorry.
okay.
Phillies, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 6 innings, 2 hits against the Mets. Stinker against the White Sox, gave up 8 runs.
Okay.
Then 7 innings, 2 earned runs against the Mets before that. So he's
Right.
very like hit or miss. Maybe tomorrow's the stinker.
Maybe it is. Maybe it. Well, yeah. Let's hope tomorrow's a stinker. But guys like guys like PCA and Saya have got to step up. This first half they were going back and forth as far as like who's gonna lead the team in home runs, which they were almost having like a little friendly home run chase.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see them both knock one out in the bleachers tomorrow. And just get that rolling again. But yeah, Cade Horton's got to continue to be Cade Horton, and let's not make this one a close one. Let's put some more runs on the board tomorrow.
Yep. No, I'm on board with that. Let's put up some runs tomorrow, get a nice healthy lead for Horton. And I said this yesterday. I still feel the same way today because we didn't get the laugher that I was looking for. Like, let's have one laugher in this series where it's like you don't have to think about it. You don't have to pitch your high leverage pieces out of the bullpen like your Brad
Yeah,
Kellers, your Kittredge. Those 2 guys didn't pitch tonight, but like Theobar and Pomeranz and Palencia, like have all those guys take the day
yeah.
off. Like,
You have a laugh for tomorrow, and then that you basically complete the trifecta right there. You had your big comeback yesterday. You won the close one today. Now let's just beat the shit out of them tomorrow.
yeah, let's.
You know.
I like that plan. Give us the trifecta, the
Yeah.
trifecta for how to win ball games. No, I like that plan. So yeah, who's gonna be your? We haven't done this in a minute. I'm gonna bring it back though. Who's your fly the W pick for tomorrow?
Fly the W pick tomorrow.
Is it Cade?
I think it's Cade, yeah, for sure. I think Cade is. I mean, he continues his case for Rookie of the Year, and he's going to be the reason. I mean, and not to say that this team doesn't have puts up an eight spot on the board. I'm not saying that at all, but I think Cade's going to continue to do his thing. I really do.
Well, one guy who I've really loved watching play lately, and I agree with you. I think Cade's going to do his thing tomorrow too. Guy who's been really stepping up, I think, especially the power and the runners in scoring position. The way that he's coming out of it. I think he's starting to play ball like he knows how to play ball and not thinking so much. And tonight, maybe wasn't the greatest night for him offensively, but I'm gonna go with Dansby Swanson tomorrow.
Okay.
Against
All
his
right.
former team. And I think he's showing signs of just hitting the ball hard too recently. So I'm gonna go with Dansby. I think he gets it done, leads them to a sweep offensively. And like we said, hopefully Kyle Tucker's all right. That calf heals up okay, and the Cubs can get it done. Going to the Nats series feeling a little bit fresh, a little extra rest for some of those bullpen arms would be nice. But before we go ahead and hop out of here, which, by the way, thank you everyone for tuning in. I see Jay got another comment here with talking about Bryce Elder. He has an ERA of 5.85, ERA on the season. So, yeah, like I said, Elder's very weird because he's got like those huge blow up games where you can get the laugher out of him. And then he's got games where he's like shoving against the Phillies and the Mets. And it's just like, which Bryce Elder are you going to get? I think if you're a Braves fan too, that's probably how they look at it. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, of course. Before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody that we are part of the OnTap Sports Network. And if you want to go ahead and check out all the content on ontapsportsnet.com, we got Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, obviously the Cubs. This is the Cubs on Tap show. Golf, beer reviews, gambling, college football. Even if you have friends that like the team on the South Side for some strange reason, but we all do. We all have friends that like the team on the South Side. We have Sox coverage as well with the Sox on Tap guys doing a great job over there. As Nick put it last night, they are fun bad, is what we're hearing. That's the word out on the streets. We've been there as Cubs fans. We've had some fun bad teams, but it's not as fun when you're losing. So I think this year definitely has been a lot better on that regard, or on that front, for things for the Cubs. But like I said, you can go to ontapsportsnet.com, get all your coverage over there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you'd like. And yeah, leave us a comment. Do what you do. Follow us over at Cubbies on Tap on X. Follow Tyler at TeddyFreddy270. The rest of the guys as well. You can find them in the channels, the YouTube pages, the podcast platforms. The handles are there. I am at Joey Knows Nothing. And Tyler, what do you say we get on out of here the only way we know how to do every single time here at Cubs on Tap?
Oh, for sure. And, the thing is, we haven't really talked much about them tonight, but St. Louis, hey, just a reminder, you guys only have 69 wins, which, yeah, it's 69. Oh, cool. But that's not very good at this time of the year. And honestly, your expected wins and losses are you're actually only supposed to have about 66 wins. So you guys really suck this year. But here's something, fun fact. This is how desperate your organization is right now. My former college coach, he coaches for a JUCO school now. And basically the last home game of the series for St. Louis, if you buy a ticket, you also get to see Wabash Community College play another community college after that game. That's how desperate St. Louis is to get fans in. They can't even get enough fans into the stadium. So maybe, hey, we'll get these colleges coming to play too. So that's how desperate you guys are. That's just another reason. Just how big of losers you guys are, and it's just another reason why I say F the Cardinals. F them.
That's incredible. All the way from Panama City,
all the way from PCB, baby.
Fuck the Cardinals.
PCB, baby. F the Cardinals.
And fuck the Brewers.
And let's go Cubs.
Let's go Cubbies.